Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erica. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have a thrift haul. I haven't done one in a super long time. And I had one of my best hauls that I've ever had, so I'm really excited to show you guys everything. This is all from the San Francisco Goodwill bins. I don't know why thrifting goes like this, but I feel like I've had not very good luck thrifting for, I don't know, 6-8 months. And then I had this amazing Goodwill bins haul. And then I was in LA and I went to a random thrift store and I had the most amazing luck there. So I'm also gonna make a video about that haul, but I need to do this one first. I have a lot of stuff. None of this is really in any order. It's literally just all piled up with things that I need to list and organize. So we're just gonna get right into the video. The first item are a pair of Brandy Melville sweatpants. I always pick up Brandy Melville just because it's typically very light and I feel like it sells well at buy-sell trade stores, so I think it's worth getting. Then this is a little Sunday Best purple tank top. Sunday Best is an Aritzia brand. Even though this is very tiny and a little basic, it probably retailed for a lot, or probably close to $50, and for this tiny little tank top, again, that's something to take to a buy-sell trade store. Then I found this little knit Reformation top. It's not in the best of shape. It might be a little bit of an older style. I mean, it's not in bad shape. It just looks a little worn, a little faded. Reformation in the bins. I'm not gonna skip it. Another little Brandy Melville basic. Then I got this Vince sweatshirt. I feel like I kind of skip Vince sometimes, but this just seemed like a nice staple. I think this is probably a men's sweatshirt. Then I only know this brand because I watch other resellers. My favorite resellers to watch are Jack Valentine and his husband Ryan, and they have taught me so much. I wouldn't have known so many of these brands if I didn't watch their videos. Honestly, I feel like watching resellers is really what makes you know what to look for. Which is kind of what I went into this day thinking of, I want to be looking for dresses because they've been finding so many good dresses, and we haven't gotten there yet, but that's what I found. This is a brand called Prairie Underground, which is part of this lag and look style, and I guess it's a brand that people who wear that style of clothing like. I found this little, I don't even know what it is. It's kind of like a cowl neck, possibly dress or sweater. Then I have this Free People fleece jacket, which this is a super popular style. I actually have this exact jacket in green, and then I actually ended up finding $10 in the pocket, and I've never found cash at the bins or in any of the clothes, so that was kind of fun because I feel like everybody has found cash at some point, but I had never. Then the first dress, this is a brand called Porridge, which is sold at Anthropologie, and it just feels very Anthropologie. So it's a long brown dress. This is perfect for fall too. I feel like this is the perfect Thanksgiving or the transition from summer into fall. Then I found this Christian Dior tie. Unfortunately, there's no Christian Dior on the front of the tie. And then I didn't notice this until I got home, but there is a little bit of staining there. So I don't know if I'm gonna sell this or not, but Christian Dior tie at the bins, it's very hard to pass up. Okay, another dress. This is a really cute Farm Rio for Anthropologie, geometric blue and green dress. I think it's probably the same person who donated a lot of this stuff. There's 2 sets of things where I have these very pretty dresses that feel very Anthropologie-like, and then a group of things that were definitely hip 20s girl who donated a bunch of her clothing. Then I have this Wilfred Free, which again is an Aritzia brand. This sweater. Aritzia has definitely had a huge downfall in reselling, and I don't even know, I feel possibly just they're not as popular as they were 2021. Probably just take this to a buy-sell trade store. This is another Wilfred Free cardigan. It is just an open cardigan. Yeah, I think I'll probably just sell this at a buy-sell trade store unless I see some really good comps. Then I got this COS dress, which I actually have not had great luck selling COS. Well, I've only had one sweater and there was a small flaw in it, but it took a really long time for me to sell it. Maybe that was why, because of the small flaw, but in general, I just don't feel like their clothing is that well made. When I see this dress, it's all wrinkled and it's just been sitting in a pile. This brand retails for a lot. It's a higher end version of H&M. I know some people say it resells well, so I don't know. This is a nice dress for the holidays. It's a good color, but I just don't love the style. Then I grabbed this Eileen Fisher 100% silk blouse. This is like another brand that it retails for so much and it just doesn't resell very well, but I don't know, it's hard to pass up like 100% silk blouse at the bins. And I do see a lot of their stuff, but a lot of times it's more of like a cotton basic, and because this was silk and it was just like a pretty little button down shirt, I was like, okay, I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna see if buy sell trade stores do take it and they might mark it up. Then this other dress, which I think is probably by that same gal who's donating those other dresses. This brand I didn't know, but when I was finding all these nice dresses, I was like just grabbing anything and deciding to look it up. The brand is Indah, I-N-D-A-H. It's kind of hard to tell. It's basically just like a black tag, but this is like a swimwear kind of brand. The dresses I think do retail for a good amount. This one did, I noticed when I was taking photos, have a small stain, which I pictured. And then another dress, this one is Love the Label. This one I couldn't really see the tag when I grabbed it out of the bins, but it was with all these other dresses and I just knew like it's worth looking and trying to find the tag. So this is a cute maxi dress. It's got this like open tie back. This was also sold by Anthropologie. Then similarly to the Reformation little black top that I got, this is a Reformation white strapless top that is also not in the best of condition, but again, I'm just not gonna skip a Reformation top at the bins. Then this is one of the only like vintage pieces that I got, but it is this like brown sheer top and it's kind of got these like double layers with a raw hem, and I just feel like it's a cute top that I will probably sell at a buy sell trade store. Then I found this Skims long sleeve top, which again, I feel like Skims has kind of lost their popularity, especially because I see some people on TikTok talking about like Skims dupes and stuff that they find on Amazon, but I'm not gonna skip over a Skims piece at the bins. I probably wouldn't pay up for a Skims piece. Kind of like with every brand, there's like a huge hype around it and then it eventually dies down. Next are these men's gray Lululemon shorts. Lululemon is one of those brands where there was so much hype around it and people loved it for so long, and now I would almost never sell something on Poshmark that is Lululemon. Like I just take it to a buy sell trade store because it just sits for so long. This one might be the best find of the day, and I probably would have seen this dress sitting in the bins and not really looked at it that closely if I hadn't found those other really nice dresses, just because the like exposed zipper and like the cross top, like this, I feel like feels a little bit outdated. It also has little jewels on the sleeves. I grabbed it and I was like, I'm just gonna look this up because who knows, it could be something very good, and turns out it was. I think this dress retailed for like $775, something like that. The brand is Camilla. I don't know what this LHW at the bottom is. It looks like that they do a collaboration with like some sort of hotel in Italy or something, and it might be part of that. And it's in really good shape, very good condition. I feel like she probably wore it to an event and just donated it. This might be like my best Goodwill bins find in terms of an item that retails for a lot, but then also like holds its resale value, because I have found a fair amount of items that retailed for crazy amounts of money, but just like don't hold on to their resale value. But this dress, I think already has like 6 likes. I listed it for $250. Then I found this Donny open cardigan, which please in the comments if you know about this brand, tell me more about it, because it retails for like $500 and then people are reselling their stuff for like $5 online. So I guess it literally does not hold its resale value at all. I mean, I'm not gonna skip a $500 cardigan at the bins, especially because I feel like a buy sell trade store would probably mark it up, just knowing like what it retailed for. I feel like it was a really big brand that influencers were wearing, and maybe that's how it got popular. This is probably the other best find of the day. This is a long puffer coat by the brand Maje, M-A-J-E, which unfortunately I think this might be a piece that did retail for a lot that doesn't hold its retail value that great. But because it is a long puffer coat, like that in itself is always going to be a valuable item. I think this retailed in the $700 range, but I think you could probably expect to get in the $100 range, hopefully. I need to do a little bit more research, but with the winter coming up, I feel like it's perfect time to find this coat. I was super excited. This was actually an item that somebody threw back, so I need to do a little bit more research and figure out like what's the right price for this. Especially what's crazy to me is like at the end when people are throwing stuff back and I find nice brands like that, it's like if I don't pick it up, it's literally gonna go straight into the trash, which is crazy that an item that is so expensive and retails for that much could literally just be thrown away. Then just another little Brandy Melville top and another Brandy Melville basic. And then here's a little Free People Movement bra. I would never pick up a bra from like Urban Outfitters anymore. Like the whole bralette thing is mostly very out, but if it is a Free People bralette or like this is more I think like a sports bra, I will pick them up. Then this Adidas hoodie. This is actually really cool. It might be kind of hard to tell, but I don't know how this is stitched in here or what you would call this, but I think it's really cute. It's a cool little Adidas crew neck. These are Varley shorts. Varley is sold, I think, at Anthropologie sometimes. I honestly don't know that much about this brand and I've never found it before, but I know for a while, I think it's pretty expensive for like what it is. This is just a sheer little butterfly top by the brand Super Down, which is a Revolve in-house brand. It's not gonna hold a lot of its value, but again, like this is something that's great to take to a buy sell trade store, especially because it literally is so light and doesn't weigh anything. Then we have this little Free People dress. It's crazy because this dress was really popular when I was in high school, and now I have been out of high school for over 10 years, and it's crazy that I still find these things, but people still like this. It is still a really cute dress, and I was in Free People the other day, and they have like a new style that looks very similar to this. I think they were asking like $118 for it. Then just this basic Lululemon white sports bra. Then another dress from our Anthropologie queen, this Misa Los Angeles dress, which I have sold this brand before and it sold really well. It was a dress that was new with tags and they had purchased it from Anthropologie that I had found at like a regular Goodwill. Yeah, this dress was actually thrown back by some girls who I think were just there looking for like trendier clothes. But like this dress I think retails in the $300 range. It's always interesting to me though because a lot of these really nice brands have these very sheer dresses and they're not lined. Then I got this little Lululemon tank top. I'm not sure, this one might have been something where you can go and they will hem your items for free. So this might be like an older tank top that someone got hemmed, but it's a cute little color, perfect for a buy sell trade store. I don't find many expensive pajamas, or maybe it's just that when I'm going through the bins, I'm just not really closely looking at PJs. But I found my first Roller Rabbit PJ top. It is an extra small. I don't know if this print is as popular. Also being an extra small makes it harder to sell and only having one piece of it, but I'd rather have just the tops than just the bottoms. Then I got this little by Anthropologie, almost like a button vest halter top. Again, I probably would not have listed this if it weren't for like watching other resellers, but this is an extra large, and a lot of times when you find these brands, they're in smaller sizes, and so apparently the larger sizes do actually sell really well. So this is an extra large, and so I have listed it on Poshmark and it already has like 10 likes. Then I found this Brandy Melville sweater vest. I've been finding a lot of sweaters from Brandy Melville that almost feel like they are vintage clothing where they just sewed in their tag. Then I found this little Colorado beanie. This looks like somebody got it on their trip, but at the same time, I could see this being sold at like Free People. I think it's really cute, and again, winter's coming up, so I thought it was a cute find. Then I don't know much about this brand. The brand is Bardot, but it was new with tags, so grabbed that. Another simple Aritzia TNA little crop top, then a little Brandy Melville graphic tee, another Brandy Melville basic, this little tank top, then these Aritzia TNA cozy shorts. I know these were really popular a few years ago. Pair of Brandy Melville gray shorts, this Free People Movement sweater, which this is still being sold on their website. Ooh, this is another one of my favorite finds from the day. I think this is from the girl that donated the Reformation tops, but it is this Realization Par little tee, and the tag is cut out of it, but the way it was laying in the bins had this material tag literally just sticking up, and I was like, I'm gonna grab that. For being a white tee, I would say it's in pretty good shape. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see depending on what lighting I'm in. 4 years ago, I had this shirt pinned all over my Pinterest, but I think it retailed for like $130 or something. So was never gonna spend that amount on just this little baby tee, but it's so cool to find stuff in the bins that at one point I was debating spending a lot of money on. And then the last item of this haul are those Tumblo and Le News shorts. I really don't know much about either of these two brands. This collaboration was selling for like $225, so I need to do a little bit more research. They are super cute. I feel like they're perfect for a little like European vacation. That was everything from this Goodwill bins haul. It got me so excited to go thrifting again. I have another haul that I will film and upload soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.